It's, wait. I think it's recording now.
Yes, it is. If it is needed, I can record the call too,
Okay.
or you to have like something back if something goes wrong.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. So, well, I introduce myself. As you know, my name is Andrea Palau, and I am a teacher in the secondary school Juan Miranda Oresti. I give English to the groups of second G and second H. I only have two groups. I don't
Okay.
know if there is anything you would like to know about me.
Yeah. I don't know the most important aspects of you. I don't know, of your class, the school.
Okay, well, first of all, I think that it is very important for you as teachers to see your background as a teachers that formed you to this to decide that you want to be a teacher, and that will make you that will make your character in front of your class. For example, in my experience, when I was on fourth grade, I gave classes in a military school. So that formed me as a teacher that knows that the main thing in a classroom is the discipline. And also to know that it is not just like, okay, sit down and I don't care about you. No, it is like to see also that human part. That school was in that way, that they had the military education, but they also care about the students, and you as a teacher were able to hug them, to support them, to talk with them after classes. So that makes a very close connection with you and your students. So I think that that is very important, to be open with them, but also to set your limits with them.
Okay. Yeah, that's true. Hmm. Nayeli?
Okay, good afternoon, Miss Andrea. How are you?
I am fine. I am excellent and with lots of work, just like you.
Yeah.
It is a pleasure to be able to do this interview with you. Our team is made of Delia Gonzalez, Saida Rebecca Moreno, and I, Nayeli Zamarron Lopez. And we are part of English degree.
Okay, excellent. Welcome you to the magic of the English education.
Yeah. We are making this project for Miss Xiomara subject, that is observational tools. This project is based on observe the English teacher and ask her how she works, observe how is an English class day. Also, with the current situation, is not the best to make it physically observation. So that's why we made this reunion, to ask you and make an interview about your job. Can we begin?
Yes, we can begin.
Okay. Our first question is, what has been your experience working online?
It is very hard because I have been into context, the private school context and the public school context. But the most important, I think that it is a public school for you. And it is very hard because almost like 20 of my students from the 80 that they are just send me the work. So it is very hard. You as a teacher try new strategies. For example, like the videos. You as a teacher say, yes, I'm going to make videos for them. And you set all the environment for do the videos, and you think that, yes, my videos are great. But when you upload them to YouTube, you have the option to see what which students saw that video. Yes. So for example, the statistics that just 6 people watched the video and it was up to minute 2. They didn't even saw the videos complete. So it is very disappointing because you try to do new things for your students, but they don't participate, they don't collaborate. So it is hard. And the only thing that us as teachers can do is to send them activities and to hope that they send them back answered. But yes, they are very few students, like 20 from the 80 that they are.
Yeah, it's a really different way to work, isn't it?
Yes, it is completely. You can't have the control. They have the control actually, not even their parents. They.
Yeah.
Okay. What else?
Okay, our next question is, has it been easy for you to teach virtually? And
And what?
oh, sorry. Has it been easy for you to teach virtually?
Okay. It is hard in a certain way, but you enjoy it. When you like your work, it is not difficult because you try to figure out different ways to talk with your students. And also, as I told you in the beginning, you try to get close to them. So when you get close to your students, you have a better communication, and it is like if you were talking with a partner, with someone who you like to talk. So instead of being like a stress that, yes, I have to answer to my student on WhatsApp, and oh my God, no. Doing that to get that close, to say, hi, good morning, how are you? Okay, don't worry, have a nice day, blah blah blah, saying that stuff to them to make you feel like a person, and to feel them just like people too, makes your work easier.
Okay.
The next question is, what activities and tools do you use to teach your class in this new normality?
I commonly use vocabulary activities because they think that it is hard to do the activities in which they have to involve more grammar or more correction from your part. Because if they don't even do the activities, asking them to do harder activities is very difficult for them. And I know that they are not going to answer those activities. So I just try to set them vocabulary activities, and in which they have to understand those words in a context, not just like simple words. No, I place those words in a context for them to make it easier.
Okay. Mm, the next question. What technique do you use to conduct your class?
Sorry, I didn't understand.
What technique do you use to conduct your class?
Okay, right now I am using the technique of send them homework on Monday. I don't even respect my schedule, the schedule that I have with them. I send them the work on Monday, and I give them the complete week to answer those activities that are 3. And on Friday, they send it to me. They have all the day of Friday to 11:59. Yes, that's the time that they can send me the activity of night at night. And 5 minutes later, I register all the activities on my list and I send them to them. So they all can see the activities that they did for of all the group, not just like them, not just like mine. I can see my grade. No, they can see the whole group grade. So they can see, the parents can see if they are working, because there are parents also in the WhatsApp group. So the parents can see that I am trying to do something, and that they don't want to work and to to see if that makes them work, to see that they are all not accomplishing the activities, the objectives.
Yeah, actually, it's like to make sure, right? They're learning and working, right?
Yes, yes, it is. And it's a way to defend yourself as a teacher because you are showing your complete work. You are being, I don't know how to say, yes, you let your students see all your work that you are working. And well, also the parents can see that. So it is not in you, it is the responsibility in them.
Yeah.
Okay. Next question. What are the advantage you find in observing your students?
In observing my students, well, it is very important because there are things that the statistics can't tell you. For example, I can tell you 20 of my 80 students work, but if we were in a place where you can see one by one students, you can see that this student doesn't work because he works at night and he falls asleep while he is in class. Okay, so there are aspects behind the students that you need to know for you to give your class, to consider that need in the students for you to make that student learn, to adequate your lesson plan and make that student learn. You don't, as you know, right now we are in a situation where we can't exclude someone just because, okay, he doesn't want to work, so get out of my classroom. No, it is like, okay, you come, you're sitting here, and we are going to analyze what is going on with you. And
Yeah.
then you observe the student, okay, he works with that partners better. If I ask him to work in pairs, he works better. He likes I don't know, Lupita. So if I ask Lupita to work with him, he works because he's in love. Okay, they are things that you know while you are observing that work better for you.
Yeah, that's right. I am agreed because, well, this current situation is hard for everybody now, and I think that the principal thing that you like with you said is that, well, we have classmates that who works in the afternoons and don't have enough time to make their homework, and so it's very difficult for us. And I think you are completely right about this question.
Yes, yes, it is. It is very important. As I told you, always see your students as a human being
Yeah.
because yes, you don't know what is going through. As you, as your as person have your trouble, they have their trouble. Okay, so always consider them not like a part of the group. No, just like a human being, and
Yeah.
that's very important.
The next question is, do you follow the process they give you in the program, or do you prefer to use your own?
No, I prefer to use my own because the program, the yes, the program Aprendizajes Clave is set for a B1 level. So as you know, we are in the Normal del Estado have B1 level. Most of us had when we get into the Normal. So it is very, very difficult that these students have a B1 level. So I
Yeah.
have to adapt those contents for things that they can use in their real life and also that are simple for them. For example, in the book, it says, ask a student to bring a calculator and he has to open it and to see how it works. And it is like, okay, that's very difficult. It shows you that you have to teach the students the parts of the calculator. So you can see that that's very difficult. But if you see the program, it tells you you have to show a student how to use a machine or a device. And when they say a device, okay, a device, a cell phone, I can teach the student how to use a cell phone. And what do they use in a cell phone? WhatsApp. Okay, so I try to give them instructions about how to use WhatsApp. That is something that they know. For example, how to install WhatsApp. Okay, you go to Google Play, then you click on download. After that, you go to WhatsApp, you enter your number, and in there you can use the sequence adverbs, first, second, third, for giving instructions. So you are taking part of the program for you to put them in their context.
Yeah,
Okay.
because maybe sometimes they don't have the same level. So maybe you have A1 level students and
Yeah.
some others with B2, so it's different.
Yes, I have had the students that know nothing from English that they say, I don't know, and I don't want to learn. So I don't know even the numbers. From students that come from the United States and that they even teach you as teacher how to say, how to pronounce the words. And it is an advantage too, because you can learn with them and they can be leaders for the other students.
Yeah.
So yes, it is very rich, all the experiences that you have in the secondary education.
Okay, yeah. The next question is, which teaching method works best for you?
Okay, the teaching method that they commonly will ask you to use in the BSN and that works better for me is the presentation, practice, and production.
Okay.
I think that that's the best one that works for me, because it gives you a guide, like how to form deep knowledge. And when you are seeing like theories like Piaget or Vygotsky, you can see how they build the knowledge, and you can see, yes, this is the method that it's more similar to the way that students learn. You can show them what you want them to learn and the vocabulary or the things that they are going to need, and then you give them a challenge that they want. You have to give them the motivation for them to want to achieve that challenge, to yes, to do that challenge, to accept it. And then the production, that is when they finally do by themselves. And always remember that method, it is not only for one class. You can use it um, for a sequence. In a first class, I just see presentation, in the other one, practice, and the final production. Or maybe the production can extend to 2 classes. It is not a rule, okay? Remember, it is not a rule. It is just a guide.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, does it depend on the type of group you are in how you will work?
Sorry, I don't understand you.
Sorry. Does it depend on the type of group you are in how you will work?
Yes, it really depends. For example, right now, the group of second G, it's more difficult than the second H, because they don't send their activities to the classroom. So it is very hard to me to work with them. I tried a new strategy just the last week, where they asked them to make pairs, to form pairs. And I asked them a minimum for them to work in that way, because I was going to give them the opportunity of those 3 activities, work them in pairs for making their activities easier. But it didn't even do that. They didn't even form the pairs. I just had 5 pairs formed. So that's the way that you can see that it is very difficult. Not even making pairs, it's like, wow, okay, you know that you are into a great barrier that it's not letting you work with them as you want. So yes, it is difficult, and I have to adapt my strategies with them.
Thank you.
Outside of class, apart from your lesson time, how much time do you use to plan your lessons?
Well, it depends also in the topic, in the experience that you have had working with that topic, and with and yes, also with the problems that you can have during your your s- your scholar year. For example, as I told you, this of the machines was one of the challenges that I had with them, because it was like, oh my God, it is difficult to me. How are they going to know? And I was breaking my head, and oh my God, how am I going to do with them? How I'm going to teach this thing? And yes, when you are analyzing every part of your day, you are thinking and thinking and thinking, and suddenly something comes to your mind and tells you how you are going to teach. So it depends also in the creativity you have for adapting your lessons, but it is about like 1 to 2 hours, like when you sit down and you write your activities. Yes, it is that.
Okay, thank you. For the next question is, how many schools do you work at?
How of my students, the number?
No, no, no. How many schools do you work at?
Okay. I have worked at 3 schools, 2 private schools and 1 public school. As I told you, the military school, in a primary school, and in a secondary school. The secondary school is is public, and the other ones are private.
Okay.
Something that you
And
want to know about them?
could you tell us what is the difference between a public school and a private school?
The responsibilities from the parents, teachers, and students. They are more responsible in the private schools than in the public schools. And also it depends what type of private school, because private schools usually work with different methodologies. For example, um, this school is military. The other one is working with Montessori's method, and this one is focused on the constructivism of Vygotsky. So it depends on each school how it works. But yes, the private school have more compromise with the education. But for you as teachers, it is more work, because they ask you to give more of you, and they pay you less. And in
Okay.
public schools, they pay you more, but it is not that compromise. You have to give that compromise by yourself, because you will not have the same tools that they give you in the private education.
Okay, yeah.
And how many hours do you teach per day?
Per day in the primary school, I teach 2 hours a day, but I work more. And in the secondary school, as I told you, it depends. It depends of the students. I have 6 hours, but also I can work more, I can work less according to my students.
What kind of activities, well, nowadays, do you see you have had more response with from part of your students?
Well, vocabulary, because I have asked them to do other things like TikToks, like singing a song, like cooking a recipe or something. No, they don't like them. Although I thought that they were going to be entertaining for them and they were going to like them. No, they didn't like them. They just like write words and to write their meaning, and that's it.
Yeah. They sometimes took it as a task, not so like to get fun or something like that.
Yes, the tasks are they prefer the task. Yes, for sure.
Yeah. How many students per group do you find easier to work in a normal class? Like, yeah, in the school.
Okay, 20 students or less. I think that's the limit, 20 students. But yes, in real life, you don't have just 20 students. Just if you are in a very, very far school in the ranch or something, but no, you find more students. For example, I have 40 students right now per group.
Yeah.
And how many students do you find easier to work online with?
Online, I think that it is not the same because when you I think that it is easier to follow the rules while you are working online than when you are working in presential education, because the parents help you a lot. Well, for example, in my experience in primary education, where I had real sessions with them, virtual sessions in real life, it didn't matter the number of students because I could work with them very well, and I could ask them, okay, so now we're going to work with groups. Rebecca, tell me your fruit. And he told me, Nayeli, tell me now your fruit. Okay, excellent. Delia, tell me now your fruit. And you work fast with them. I think that it is better. And as I told you, the parents help you to keep the control, that they don't have their microphones open or that stuff. So I think that it is better for me. And it doesn't matter the number of students. I have had 50 students working apart from my school. And yes, I think that it wasn't that difficult.
What kind of evaluation do you use to get a better result?
Of evaluation, okay, always focus on your objective, and then from that objective, see for what parts of that objective are they have to achieve for them to learn. For example, if you are seeing the present perfect, okay, this meeting is we're going to end, but we're going to join again, right?
Right.
Okay, well, as I was telling you, the present perfect. Okay, the students know the the verbs in past participle. Yes, no. Okay, the students know the structure of the present perfect. Yes, the students know how to the vocabulary. For example, the vocabulary that I asked them to learn for this topic. Yes, no. Okay, the students know how to involve this vocabulary with the sentences. Yes, no. These students can involve the vocabulary and the verbs to form a complete sentence in present perfect. Yes, no. Okay, that for me, that's a better way to evaluate students. You have the main goal, but you have other I don't know how to say it, other objectives that you have to achieve to have your main goal.
Okay, yeah. Um, how satisfied are you with the results of your students' performance?
Sorry, I didn't understand. Can you repeat it?
Yeah. How satisfied are you with the results of your students' performance?
I am not very satisfied because I had no response from them. It is very, very low. But with the students that are accomplishing, I am fine because I can see the interest in them for learning English. Some of them are lazy. I have had students that told me, "I know English, miss. It is just that I don't I don't have time to do them, or I am lazy, but I promise that I will try to make an effort." But they tell me that in English, so you know that they know English, but it is just the situation that we are living, that maybe you can be all your time in bed, so they want to do that. And yes, there is nothing we can do to take them out of that context that they are.
Yeah. And as an English teacher, how much interest do you see in your students in class?
The interest they have, it is very low, because as I told you, it is they are very few students according to what I hoped from them to have. It is very, very low. And yes, I can do another thing to motivate them. As I told you, I have tried, but no, the simple things are the ones that work better, because you as a teacher have a life too. Always consider that you have a life. And if one person, it is like in psychology, if one person doesn't want to help him or herself, you will not help them. Okay, you need to work with that person, but in another way. Like how I'm going to tell you. Um,
Uh,
yes, that person needs to see the reality in order for them to learn. So it is difficult, yes, and with the distance, it is even more difficult to ask them to have interest in your class. It is not something that you can do for them.
okay, and finally, what advice could you give us as future English teacher?
I can tell you, let me see. You will have a lot of trouble, but it it will make you better. It is just the only way that you are going to learn English, to be an English teacher. You will learn from your mistakes, because you can have a perfect class from the beginning. So you need to know that mistakes makes you stronger and makes you a better teacher. And also, when you finish your education, keep studying, because what you have in the major isn't enough for you to work with your students. It is just a little part for you to be a teacher. Okay, you need to keep studying, keep reflecting of what you do. This career is about that. Reflect. It's all the things that you have to do, to see what you did as a teacher, and to think about what can I do better. Did it wrong? Did I did it right? And how can I improve for my next classes?
Okay.
Well, thank you for your advice.
Yeah.
And well, before we leave, we will give you a survey for your students. And could you please send it to them?
Yes, there's no problem.
Okay, thank you. And well, I think this interview went very well. And as a team, we want to thank you for making the time to be with us. We know you have more things to do, and we really appreciate the effort you made to be here. And okay, I think this will be all from us, and we hope you have a nice week. Take care, and really and seriously, thank you very much for help
No,
us.
thanks to you.
Thank you.
And if you need something, I am here to support you. Really, I have been in your place, so you can ask me with confidence, what can you do for being a teacher, a better teacher?
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Bye.
Bye.